Hi, and welcome to the gun shop.
There's a lot of comments on our mid-bead video of asking if it's hard to remove a mid-bead. Most mid-beads are push-fit, however they're pushed in and then Loctited or put some adhesive in. So a lot of the time where they then have a little plastic top and that's all you can get a hold of, you cannot pull them out. And if you manage to get a half decent purchase on that plastic top and pull it, the actual plastic... Oh, hold on. Right, so here's the rib, the hole, it pushes in the metal, and inside the metal, which is basically just a roll pin type thing, you have the plastic bead on the top, and that has a little stem that sticks inside the bit of metal that sticks inside your rib. If you pull this, you can just pull it straight out, which actually isn't too bad because it leaves you with a half decent flat metal thing. However, the real professional way then is to then drill out what's left in there and put a proper bung in and checker over the top. But it's whether you can really be bothered with that, or you do like most people do, you just kind of snap it off about there and get over it. That's the less professional way of doing it, but it does the job. Proper application of oil. Do it. Well, this happens. Yeah, there you go. That's good. I'm about to chop this down. Ta-da! Right, so I skipped a bit because I ran out of battery, but here you have it, a semi-refinished, which is certainly a bit better than it was. Further up here where we didn't quite go into it, there's a few marks still, with pad, hand-finished pad. Hoping the customer is happy with it. Really, it all depends on how he shoots it. Unfortunately, the gun, where it's a bit of a funny design, didn't take as much cast as I wanted. However, it has taken, or more where it was twisted funny, it just hasn't taken quite the cast I wanted. But it's taken as much as I could possibly get on there, which is still quite a lot. So, happy days. Let's give the customer a call and hope he's happy with it. Alright, so clean your guns. That'd be great. I mean, it's quite a basic procedure, and I know most people don't do it, and I was probably guilty of it a few times. But it doesn't take much just to give it a clean. Although it really does. I suppose if you're told, the problem with these semi-automatics really is that you do need to keep them spick and span. This one's not actually in for a clean, but I'm going to give it a quick light clean because, with all things, it just makes us feel better as people to present guns better out than they came in, right? This is the reason I have filthy hands, because guns are filthy most of the time they come here.
So we've got an apology to make.
Yeah, I'm sorry for saying punt gunning wasn't legal in the UK. It is perfectly legal. However, there's just not many people that do it. There seems to be quite a closed band who do. However, we got some exciting news, is that one of them contacted us, who's the president of a local wildfounding club, and it's very possible that we're going to be doing something together. I find that quite exciting.
Yeah.
I like the idea of punt gunning. I always have, but I say a couple of people told me years ago that it was banned, and I never then looked into it because you'd just be heartbroken, wouldn't you? Anyway, that's some exciting news for the future and an apology issue to those of you who do go punt gunning. What else have we got to talk about?
As a lot of you will know, Johnny has a child now. I was going to say he has a baby. He had a baby, but
I got a baby.
Johnny didn't have a baby.
And this is going in the vlog now, apparently, which is quite fun.
Well, it doesn't have to, but...
Well, you know, I found it quite amusing that my baby, this last week, almost religiously when it's bath time, about 7 o'clock, has pooed in the bath. That's all. My baby poos in the bath when he goes for a bath. Do any of you do that? Hope not.
Hopefully none of you poo in the bath. But yeah, so there's a fun fact. We're going to go and check the game cam because it's been 2 weeks, I think.
Since snow, wasn't it? Yeah, probably 2 weeks.
Yes, it must be about 2 weeks time.
Yeah, it would have been about.
Yeah, because it was last vlog.
No, but we checked it since, didn't we? And there was just a pheasant. So
we're going to go and get it. We're going to review the footage, check batteries, etc.
And put it right here.
And put it there.
Insert footage. Da-da-da. Oh, it's good. Right there.
Again, please don't nick it.
Hold that, Daniel. So you like this? This is cool. Ready? Doubles up, right? A very nice necklace. Buy one for your wives. Not the ladies can't use game cams by themselves, obviously. This gun was not changing over. I played with it, polished both the sears. This is a Fabarm Gamma. Fabarm Gammas are actually really quite good guns. However, there's a couple of little finishing issues inside the reason that they weren't a very expensive gun to start with. However, I have now finished those issues that weren't finished in the first place. Certainly works. Thanks, Dan. Drop bump.
So we get a lot of requests on our YouTube videos to review a specific gun, which we're always happy to if we can get hold of it.
Is this gun better than this gun? Is this gun better than this gun? Which gun should I buy?
So we get conversation starters. Now we are always happy to have conversations with you guys. The only issue is that sometimes with YouTube we don't always get the notifications.
Which is true. More to the point, we get a lot of activity on our channel, and
yes.
Although we reply to every comment, we don't always then get to reply to the reply, if that makes sense.
So what we are asking is if you would like a conversation. Let's call it a conversation. If it's not a quick, simple answer, if it's a, you know, this versus that, or if it's simply a case of, you know, you want to chat, the best thing to do is probably contact us on Facebook or drop us an email. The reason is we get notifications every time. Now Johnny's recently been setting out time almost every morning to try and reply to you guys, as it's best coming from him rather than us.
Wow, it's like a morning routine, isn't it? It's quite nice. Yeah,
quick coffee and comment. Coffee and comment, there you go. So he does try and get around to everyone. We don't get notifications for all, and he does spend quite a lot of time. So if it's an in-depth answer you're looking for, drop us an email or head over to Facebook, contact us that way, and yeah, we'll do our best to get Johnny to answer you.
We're here to help, right? That's kind of the point.
Now hopefully the audio is a little bit better on this, because just there, about there,
Big microphone.
it's a big microphone. We've also put the code word dead cat on it, so wind should hopefully be reduced. I mean, it's not windy today, so it's not really a fair test, but hopefully the wind is reduced.
Hey guys, so welcome to the workshop. As something new, we're going to try and do more of a discussion thing in the workshop, perhaps, and actually, because as we all know, there's a fine line. We can't show you too much of what we do. However, I can show you what you do, just not explain what I'm doing. That probably is the better way of doing things. We ended up with a lot of footage, mostly of me either being overly sarcastic about the work I was doing, B saying that's exciting, I can't show you anymore, and that just doesn't cut it. And Dan made a fair point to me that actually there's no point in putting a lot of the footage in, because it's short, quick cuts between stuff, or it's long segments of me doing something but not explaining why. So perhaps it's better to do something, not explaining why, but also talking about something else. This is going to prove difficult without Dan next to me to provide conversation, because it's hard for me to concentrate on working whilst also talking about a different subject. Obviously, because I'm a man, and we're not very good at multitasking at all. First things first, is I'd like to talk about the YouTube Airgun channel cleanse that happened probably a couple of weeks ago now. Most of you will be aware that pretty much overnight, some of the biggest players on the YouTube Airgun circuit were kicked off. For no reason, just given their 3 strikes and out. That's how YouTube works, guys. You get 3 breakings of the rules before you are then removed. Not forcibly, but you know, they just click a button, your channel is shut down, your content is lost. And that happened to a lot of the YouTube guys, the big YouTube guys. I say overnight, there was no choice, there was no time for an appeal, and they were removed. However, they have subsequently got most of their channels back. All except Rack and Load, but he was removed for a different reason. He was apparently promoting people, pushing people away from YouTube, spamming, I think they called it, which was a bit of a shame. But you know, this is the problem with the way YouTube works. Demonetizing us means that a lot of people have had to use Patreon. Patreon isn't YouTube. People pushing people to Patreon could be seen as spamming, and if you were YouTube, you'd probably do the same thing, going, hey, look, if you like us, if you don't, don't. So that's what happened. Anyway, I just want to say we did get a strike against our account for a video review on the Varrock HV100, and we appealed that, and that has been successfully put back up online. We found some beautiful irony that they were picking on air gunners, and as such we feel like, you know, all of the talk of it being anti-groups, you know, shouting off, spouting off, that actually, you know, it probably isn't. It's probably just a YouTube algorithm change, and it's not just guns that have been affected. A lot of other channels, political channels, that sort of thing, have been taken down or given strikes on videos where necessarily they probably wouldn't have had strikes before. Anyway, just saying that probably the overriding point in this is that, you know, we are not safe. People don't really like guns, mostly because they're used for evil things. Not as much as they're used for not evil things, but unfortunately, people don't care about knife crime, gun crime, but small scale. What they see is these big things. The media pumps it up, and suddenly we're the bad guys. Which I understand. I can see their point of view. Certainly something I didn't want to get into in this particular subject was a conversation on gun rights, gun laws and Second Amendment in America, because actually, you know what, that's none of my business. I'm a Brit. I worry about our problems, our laws, and I think that actually what we've got going here is pretty good. But you know what, I'm not here to force it upon anyone else, and I don't care. And I can see that actually having your freedoms taken away from you is bad. However, also I think maybe the availability of semi-automatic firearms to people with probably who shouldn't maybe have them is also bad, but that's not my problem and not my argument to deal with. Which leads me on to Facebook isn't helping. You know, a lot of the world is very anti-gun, and a lot of the social media world is very anti-gun. And that doesn't help our cause, you know, when that is the main platform that most of us use for sharing our sports, our hobbies, our interests and what we do with each other. You know, I don't see it a long way away that there will be a gun-specific tube, and there is already a few things like that. I wouldn't say that it's locked far away until, you know, there's also a social, more of a easily applicable social media site for us. However, I feel that that is wrong and that we're being marginalised and this sort of thing. But at the same time, I also understand these guys are private companies, they owe us nothing. So, anyway, but that's more than enough on that. I don't like getting on a political high chair or whatever and shouting off, or a soapbox and actually shouting to the world, because, you know what, guys, especially Americans, what you do is none of your business, same as what we do is none of your business, apart from that we all love guns and shooting sports and want to promote and keep that as safe as possible for ourselves and future generations. Anyway, the whole point of this was, we got a strike, we know what it feels like, we were quite scared for a little while and we didn't know what the future held. We still don't, and hopefully over the next few weeks we're going to come up with a plan, a sort of a backup, because all these people, and we don't rely on, this isn't a money-making thing for us, this is mostly for mine and Dan's enjoyment, as well as yours, as something to do inside of work, the promotion of shooting sports, and this is why we do the channel. However, the thought that actually we could wake up one day and there would be nothing, we didn't like. So there might be a backing up, we just haven't decided which service to use to back it up yet, and I hope YouTube doesn't use this as a spamming thing, because we're not trying to drive people away, all we're doing is having an online backup. Okay, that's more than enough. Anyway, just a quick one on this gun. You can see actually through the barrels, just move it over here, that this has been blacked, but actually underneath it is Damascene, it's Damascus. And that's quite interesting, I think, actually. I mean, that's beautiful. The Damascus peering through the blacking there as the blacking is worn away. Because the blacking will obviously take to different parts of the steel differently. But, I mean, it's quite beautiful. There's nothing about Damascus that isn't just absolutely delightful. But, as I say, people do black it quite regularly, which I don't really understand. Probably to try and make it look modern, maybe. I'm not sure. Probably because it's cheaper than a good browning job. Anyway, it's still not closing up properly, but hopefully, give me a few minutes and I should figure out why. Anyway, that was that.
So I hope you enjoyed the footage from up the river from our trail cam, and we'll endeavour to put it out somewhere different and get some more footage next week. It's all sorts of species that we've both shot at, and one that neither of us are unfortunately allowed to, which was the badger.
Yep.
However, we both have badger on our list of things that we would really like to kill, and we understand that certain viewers are not from the UK and in countries in Europe where it is perfectly legal to bash a billy. So we're asking you a favour, a request, from the bottom of our hearts.
Indeed.
Please invite me.
Someone invite us to Europe and do some European hunting, I think.
Badger bashing really is kind of...
That would be on the list.
Cams on everything, but badger.
Yeah.
Coon dog.
I'm sure we can invite you on a shoot day back here.
Oh, we could...
arrange something.
Yeah, we can do a trade. But we fancy a badger.
Mm.
I'll see you next time! Paradise. Roosters.
Roosters peri peri.
Yeah.
Chicken.
2 hours later.
The best gun. Hi, I'm John. Welcome to the gun shop with me, John.